Okay, guys, today we're going to introduce constant. Constant is just a number that cannot be changed during the program no matter what happens. So if we now make an integer and make it equal to 4, when we print this out, um, as it will show 4, but when we change the integer later on in the program to 6, the program may come up with 6 because although it was starting with 4, it was changed before the number was called. So the system is going to take the change value and input it into the x. But a constant, I didn't know you can do that. That was pretty fun. A constant is just an integer that you cannot change. So when you run this program, nothing will show up because since we have set this integer to a constant, the number cannot be systematically changed. It is not possible to change it. Therefore, when we take this away, the program can properly run. Now we're going to introduce another type of function. So remember how we use classes and what's this called, prototype and CPP to build different functions, and by making them in the .cpp and making them public or private in the prototype, uh, then the last step is to actually call them. So that was a pretty complicated step, but it will be useful for more complicated programming. So now we do a trace back from last week's lesson. The first 3 lines, usually including, and using namespace std. The first 3 lines usually, I call these just the like, I just call them 3 lines. Yeah, so make them the same. You want to have the main and the class you created to have the same first 3 lines. So when we create a program, what we do is we call the class first, and then we do a double colon, and after it we type this again, Sally, and that's not good. Yeah, I gotta refer to that because I'm pretty dumb and cannot remember a thing from the lesson. So you type the void, which is the type, and Sally, and then a double colon. And then after this, you give your function a name, which is print stuff. And for this one, it's not going to be constant because we need to show you how normal function and constant works. I am a normal ENDL. All right, there you go. So without further ado, we already have the normal function. Ah, a normal ENDL end line. There we go. And thing. All right, we already have a normal function and a constant function, and these are different. We have learned that one can be changed in the program and one stays as it is. So there's gonna be some difference when we call each of them. So now what we have to do is to make them public in the prototype. And as you can see, I have already done that since I have ran this once before and tried to do it by memory, but I couldn't. We have the first normal program, which is called print stuff. And this is just, the name is just as it is. But for the constant, remember to always mention that the program is constant. So you mention it when you create it, but when you mention it in other places, like calling the function, you still have to add the constant at the end of the bracket. That's pretty weird. I don't know why they didn't put it before the bracket, but keep that in mind. It's always after the bracket. All right, since now we have created the functions and yeah, and made them public, both of them, we can call them in our main. Okay, how do you do that? All right, you create Sally and Sally object, and that's the first step. And then Sally object, boom. Right. So you call the class first, and then you create an object for it. I think there's nothing in between. I could be wrong, but in this object, using it, you call the function. So I'm gonna call print print stuff, print stuff, print stuff, guys. Not print sheets. Print stuff. All right, there we go. So print stuff. Why is it still? That's weird. Hold on a second. Yeah, that looks right. Print stuff. All right, that should be fine. Let me run this program, and there is something wrong. And here I'm gonna stop the video, and how do I stop it? Wow. All right. All right. Remember to check your capital cases and your numbers. Make sure they look the same. Otherwise, yeah, that took like 3 whole minutes to fix. Um, yeah, so when calling your function, make sure that you capitalize them correctly. Otherwise, they won't work. So now we have called the first function, which is normal function. Uh, Now, calling a constant function will be a little different, but simply put, you add constant at the start and you call it. Do the same thing. Sally object 2 obj2, and under this object 2, you call the constant function, which is called print stuff2. Print stuff2, and that should be great. Unless I forgot something else. Oh well, now it's working. I just changed the name of the object, and that was weird. I just got rid of the number at the end, which is very weird. Okay. Maybe there's a rule to naming your object or something, because it wasn't working before. Sally object 2. Wait. Oh, did I misspell that? I think I did. Oh, far out. Yeah, I didn't see the misspell, guys. Yeah, that's all to it. Void. Let's go through this one more time, just verbally. Copy and paste the first 3 lines. Include everything you need. Use the namespace so you can print stuff, and make sure they're just the first lines look the same in your CPP and your class. Now we have created the function, 2 functions, one normal and one which is a constant function in the .cpp. And the process of doing it is basically similar. In your normal, you state the class is from, and then you state the name. And in between, you add the double colon. And that's all to it. You just type what your function does. And your constant, remember to add the constant after the brackets so the system knows. And remember when you call your constant every time, hold on a second. Yeah, when you call your constant, make sure you always say it so the system knows. Void print stuff too, and after the bracket, same thing, constant. And when you are naming the when you're calling the functions from one of the classes, you state the name of the class first, and then you create an object, and there's nothing in between. And then using the object name you have just created, add a full stop after that, and after the full stop, call your function. So um, the class is Sally, the object is Sally object, and using the Sally object, we can call this function. But with the constant function, everything that comes with it has to be also constant. The uh, the object has to be constant, and the function is constant itself. So I understand that this is very confusing at the moment because why would you want a variable that you can't change during a program? But we'll be going over that in future, and there's actually a lot of constant stuff we have to go through. And that's today's. Oh, by the way, I'm recording you with my other computer, so my voice and my screen could look a little different. I think the ratio of the screen could be different, but let's see.